So next we have got Nick Irvine from Extraglaze, and he's just going to do a quick 10-minute talk on the Optimum gap, where they've commissioned some research into secondary glazing, and he's going to talk about that.
Hello, thank you. This will be a bit of a whistle stop. So Bill has talked about kind of the science of insulating a window, talking about U values. U values are very much a hang-up for scientists. They will go to U values all the time. Now, I went to a slightly different method of testing windows, and that's where it starts to get questionable. But I'll show you what we did. Now, basically, what I wanted to do is to find out for secondary glazing, whereas Bill talked about double glazing and some of those U values. Now, I'm talking about secondary glazing. So you've got the original glass, you've got the secondary glazing panel. Now, do you want that gap for good insulation? Do you want that? Now, actually, for secondary glazing, there isn't any science as far as I can find. There are numbers and there are statements, but when you say, well, can you validate those statements? You won't find science. You just find pretty much hearsay. So I wanted to know scientifically what is the gap and what's the best gap. Do we know what's the best? So where do we put the secondary glazing? Do we put it there close to the glass, a little bit further out still, or just extreme, basically try and insulate the windows? So what we did was I commissioned some research at Coventry University, and this is what you call a hot box. Some of you will be familiar with it. So in a nutshell, what we've got is we've got two doors. This door goes into a hot room. That's your indoor space. That door goes into an outdoor space. So this is chilled and this is heated. And then, excuse me, inside the indoor space, we have, in the wall between the two spaces, we have a window. So this is basically a window that allows me to change the gap. So as you see, the indoor space, and you'll see that I've got a panel of secondary glazing pretty much jammed straight up against the glass. But actually, it's a 20 mm gap in this case. And here, you'll see that there is quite a substantial gap between the frozen side. That's frost on the actual glazing, whereas this is the secondary glazing panel, fitted about just under 5 inches from the cold glass. Now, these are the test results, and basically the high ones indicate the best insulation. Now here we have a 20 mm gap, not achieving something particularly great, whereas 35 mm gets better, 50 gets, it drops back. 65 is the worst, but what happens next is it goes up. Now, this is my science, and in the end, I concluded that it's not good enough. This is questionable, and some people will question it. Scientists will say, but you didn't measure the U value, so it's useless, because they will insist on U value. What we tested was how long does it take the room, the heated room, to be chilled by the cold room through the glass. That one took 2 hours, 50 minutes, 3 hours, 40. This one, it took nearly 4 hours for -20 outside to chill 30 degrees inside. Now, you might say, hang on a sec, -20, that's not British weather. You might say 30 degrees is ridiculous on the inside. Well, yes, it is. So it's questionable science, what we did. And what I'm basically going to say is that we need to look at these gaps scientifically in the way that they would do it, not the way that I would do it. But that is very interesting, isn't it? We've got two optimum gaps, seemingly. So what I'm really proposing to the audience here is, do you know someone that can help? Secure funding. Perhaps you know funding, or you've got it, or you want to support. And then help design the test. So we'll need scientists who'll say, do you know what, we'll do it properly, and nobody can then question it. Now, there are millions of listed properties. We're talking about insulating windows, aren't we, in those listed properties. Let's give them the better than our best guess, because that is what we're working with now, and it's not validated by science. So if you want to talk to me about supporting science and giving listed properties the best insulation on the windows, please talk to me. So take a photograph, whatever, come see me and get my details. Thank you very much.